Hello my dear students, welcome to our science class. As you all know, in the previous video we have already completed the discussion about the plant tissues, right? Now today we will be discussing about the animal tissues. We know that the tissue is a group of connected cells that have a similar function within the organism. And animals, they are moving around, right, in the search of food, mates and shelter. That is, they are mobile, they are not stationary. Most of the tissues they contain are living because the animals are continuously in motion. Okay, that is why the tissues have to be living. The structural organization of organs and organ systems is far more specialized and localized in animals than in plants. Now, whenever we discuss anything about the animals, remember that we are talking about our own self, right? In our body also, we have more specialized and localized system. We have specific organs and organ systems to carry out the variety of functions. Okay? There are four basic types of tissues in the body of all animals, including the human body. That is, whatever discussion we are going to do today, that is present in our body also. These make up all the organs, structures, and other contents of the body. So, here all these are the characteristics of animal tissues. Animal tissues are classified into four types on the basis of the functions they perform, and they are epithelial, muscular, connective and nervous. You have to remember all these four types. Am I clear? So now let us begin with epithelial tissues. They form the covering of the external surfaces, internal cavities and organs of the animal body. That is, we can say that epithelial means जो surrounding में present है वो, which is present in the nearby surface, that is outer surface, right? Even in the internal cavities यानी अगर छोटे छोटे गैप है तो उसको फिल करने के लिए भी क्या होगा, epithelial tissues. Okay. The epithelial tissue cells are tightly packed and form a continuous sheet. As I said, it is present in the surface, outer surface means it has to be, compactly packed. It should be packed back to back. Why it is necessary? So that the outermost, from the outermost environment, no germ cells or any other unwanted stuff should not be entered, or they should not get entry only in that particular tissue or the cells. Okay. The skin, the lining of the mouth, the lining of blood vessels, lung alveoli and kidney tubules are all made up of epithelial tissue. This you have to remember, that where do we find these epithelial tissues? So we can find these tissues on the skin, the lining of the mouth, blood vessels, lung alveoli and kidney tubules. Okay. Now these are the functions of epithelial tissue. It covers most organs and cavities within the body. It forms the barrier to keep different body systems separate. यानी अलग दो organ system अगर वो अलग है तो किसकी वजह से? Because of the presence of these epithelial tissues. The permeability of the cells of various epithelia play an important role in regulating the exchange of materials between the body and the external environment. जैसे मैंने कहा कि it is making a kind of outer layer. So outer layer क्या होगा? It is going to act as the breach. Breach किसके बीच में होगा? The exchange of materials. It can be the important materials also which are required by the individual cells, and even it may be the unwanted waste products also, right? So exchange of those materials will be done through the epithelial tissues only. Am I clear? You can see this is a small diagram I have tried to show you for the arrangement of epithelial tissue. You can see back to back the cells are arranged. थोड़ी सी भी जगह नहीं है. अगर थोड़ी सी भी जगह होती तो क्या होता, वो अनवांटेड पार्टिकल्स, वो इंपॉर्टेंट मटेरियल्स भी कहाँ हो जाता, उनका ट्रांसपोर्टेशन होता रहता, एंड अल्टीमेटली द सेल वुड हैव डाइड. एम आई क्लियर बेटा? Now let us discuss about the types of epithelial tissues. There are total 4 types of epithelial tissues, and they are simple squamous epithelium, stratified squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, and columnar epithelium. Right? You have to remember the name of each types. Fine. So now let us begin with simple squamous epithelium. You can see the diagram is seen on the screen, right? Now these type of cells, or I can say this type of tissues, they are found in the cells of blood vessels, that is the lining of blood vessels, or lung alveoli, where transportation of substances occurs through a selectively permeable surface. There is a simple, flat and extremely thin kind of epithelium. This is the simplest one, the flattened one, and the thinnest one. That is why it is known as simple squamous epithelium. And where do we find it? It is found in the lining of blood vessels as well as lung alveoli. Am I clear? And because it is very simple, flat and extremely thin, it is named as simple squamous epithelium. It is also found in the lining of mouth, esophagus yani food pipe, lung alveoli. Am I clear with this? So because it is very simple, flat, that is why it is known as simple squamous. And where do we find it? In the lining of mouth, blood vessels, esophagus and lung alveoli. Am I clear? Now let's move to the second types. Next is stratified squamous. Now here you can see some difference is there apart from the previous one. Here you can see some kind of layers are seen, right? So the skin that protects the body is also made up of squamous epithelium. Skin epithelial cells are arranged in many layers to prevent wear and tear. You must have heard that we have 7 layers in the skin. So if we get the minor scratch also, within a day or two, that scratch will get disappear, right? You may be able to see the mark of that particular scratch, but after a month or so, that scratch also disappears. Now how come this is possible? Because of this presence of these stratified squamous epithelium. Since they are arranged in a pattern of layers, the epithelium is called stratified squamous epithelium. Am I clear? Now let's move to the third one. Cuboidal epithelium. Now cuboidal, the name itself tells that the cells are present in the shape of a cuboid. Yes? You can see a basement membrane is also there here. This grey color, which we could not find in the previous 2 types, right? So this is cuboidal in shape and forms the lining of kidney tubules and ducts of salivary gland. In some cases, a portion of the epithelial tissue folds inward this way. It folds inward to form a multicellular gland, which is known as glandular epithelium. ग्लैंड्यूलर एपिथेलियम मीन्स एपिथेलियम जो ग्लैंड के शेप में अंदर आ रहा है, दैट इज नोन एज ग्लैंड्यूलर एपिथेलियम. इट परफॉर्म्स अ फंक्शन ऑफ सिक्रीशन एंड एब्जॉर्प्शन. एम आई क्लियर? A cuboidal shaped cells are there. Then they form the lining of kidney tubules and duct of salivary glands. Sometimes they will fold inward to form the multicellular gland, which is known as glandular epithelium. Am I clear? The fourth type, columnar epithelium. बड़े बड़े खंबे जैसे देखो कॉलम शेप में, right? Along with that you can see that goblet cells are also present, okay, where absorption and secretion occur as in the inner lining of the intestine. Tall epithelial cells are present and are named as columnar epithelium. In the respiratory tract, On the outer surface of epithelial cells, there are hair-like projections. See here, you can see in the diagram also, and they are the cilia. They are known as cilia. These cilia will help the particular materials to move in and out. Yes, along with the mucus. And this type of epithelium which is having cilia, it is known as ciliated columnar epithelium. So ये columnar epithelium basically कहाँ पे है? In the intestine, right? And even in the respiratory tract, right? columnar यानी बड़े बड़े खंबे जैसे होते हैं, right? अभी अगर इसमें अगर सीलिया आ गई तो it will be known as ciliated columnar epithelium. Fine. Now let's talk about the other type of tissue, that is muscular tissues. It is a specialized tissue in animals which applies forces to the different parts of the body by contraction. We know that the function of muscles is contraction and relaxation. And who will have those muscles for this? Muscular tissues, of course. It is made up of thin and elongated cells called muscle fibers, which controls the movement of organism. The cytoplasm in the muscle fibers is called sarcoplasm. You have to remember this word sarcoplasm. What is sarcoplasm? It is the cytoplasm present in the muscle fibers of muscular tissues. It contains a network of membrane called sarcoplasmic reticulum. We have seen endoplasmic reticulum. Yes? So, here also we have sarcoplasmic reticulum. The membrane surrounding the muscle fiber is called sarcolemma. Sarcoplasm, sarcoplasmic reticulum and sarcolemma. These three words are related to muscular tissues. Okay, now let's talk about the properties. Contractibility, of course, it is the ability of the muscle cells to shorten forcefully. Extensibility, when you extend, you can stretch your body, you can stretch your muscles because that is its basic property, right? Next is elasticity. They have the ability to recoil back to its original length and after being stretched. Yes, all these words may be new to you, but this all are the day-to-day life examples, right? We have already faced all these things, we have already experienced all these things. Excitability, the muscle tissue responds to the stimulus. अगर आपने कोई गर्म चीज़ पकड़ ली तो इमीडिएटली आप अपना हाथ ले लोगे. अगर कोई शार्प ऑब्जेक्ट पे आपने अपना पैर रख दिया तो इमीडिएटली यू विल रिमूव योर लेग. यस, so that is excitability. It is called the stimulation, right? About this you will be learning in 10th grade in detail. Okay, now these are the functions of muscular tissues, that they are connected to the same nerve bundles. About the entire slide, this is only for your reference, of course, it is not given in your textbook, right? You can just go through it. Fine. About the movement of muscles you will be learning in 10th standard. Am I clear, beta? Right? Now let's talk about the types of muscular tissues. There are three types: striated or voluntary muscles, unstriated or smooth or involuntary muscles, and the last is cardiac or involuntary muscles. So here we can say the muscular tissues are made up of two types of muscles: voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. Voluntary muscles means the movement is in our hand, whereas involuntary means which is not in our hand. It is ongoing process, right? And the examples for the same are striated for voluntary muscles and unstriated we have for involuntary we have unstriated or cardiac muscles. Cardiac means the ones which are present in our heart. Okay, you can see the diagram of each of the muscles. From the structure itself you can make out that yes, this is a kind of simpler ones. Striations are there, right? Light band and dark band, that is why it is known as striated muscle. This is the spindle shape, and this is a kind of regular shape, whereas we can see the intercalated disc which are joining two cells. Yes, even it is having nucleus, this is also having nucleus, this is also having nucleus, right? Striations are present here. Now as if we have discussed about sarcoplasm, the cytoplasm which is present in the muscle tissues or muscle fibers. Yes, now here you can see the linings, they are known as myofibrils. Okay, Now let's discuss about striated muscles. Here you can see the diagram. You have to understand how to draw the diagram. You should know the identification of the individual muscle also, right? Sarcolemma, myofibrils, everything I have discussed right now only, right? Dark band and light band. Striations are there. That is why it is known as striated muscles. These cells are long, cylindrical, unbranched and multinucleate. Multinucleate एक से ज़्यादा न्यूक्लियस है, right? And unbranched, कोई भी branch नहीं दिखी हमें, right? These muscles are also known as voluntary muscles because they show movement when we want, right? Means they must be related to our bones. Yes? These muscles are also called skeletal muscles, see? As they are mostly attached to bones and help in body movement. The muscles show alternate light and dark bands. Here you can see striations. That is why they are known as striated muscles, and these striations are visible under the microscope, right? So what is the other name for striated muscles? They are also known as voluntary muscles, skeletal muscles. And why are they called striated muscles? Because they have striations. Striations means light band and dark band which are visible under the microscope. Am I clear? Now next is unstriated muscles. The shape is completely different, right? The cells are long with pointed ends, spindle shape जैसा दिख रहा है, right? And uninucleate यानी एक ही nucleus है. On the contrary, striated muscles, they are multinucleated. Yes? They are also called smooth or involuntary muscles as they are under the control of involuntary muscles. The movement of food in the alimentary canal or the contraction or relaxation of blood vessels are involuntary movements. They are also found in iris of the eye, in ureters and in the bronchi of the lungs. You have to remember the identification of each diagram or each muscle I can say along with its location. Am I clear, beta? Cardiac muscles, right? You can see the branches, right? This kind of branch, it was not seen in the previous two types. And cardiac, as I said, they are present in the heart. They are found only in the heart. They help in rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart. They are involuntary muscles and the heart pumps the blood through cardiac contractions. The cells of muscles known as the cardiomyocytes are striated. यहाँ पे भी striations हैं. They are single-celled and uninucleated. The ends of the cells are joined. Here you can see this blue color, or I can say purple shade something, right? That is a kind of junction which is also known as intercalated disc. You can see here this intercalated disc. The cells are attached to each other by desmosomes. Okay. So that's all for today. Hopefully these two types you will be able to remember and learn properly. Rest two types we will be learning in the next module. So stay tuned for the next video. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.